first of all, it's a Tim Burton universe. And I think that is so cool in and of itself. But you're working with an IP that I have to imagine you grew up with because I grew up with it too, with the Addams family. And so you're
Yeah.
playing in this like Burton-esque world on an IP that I think a lot of people are enamored to and endeared to. So what's that been like and just like being part of that process in the couple seasons that we've had so far?
Yeah, I feel like it's just such a major pinch me moment because I do remember being a kid and cartoons would come on Saturdays, I think at like 8 to 10 a.m. and the Addams family was one of them. And I remember I would like get my breakfast and sit in front of like this really old school box telly. I'm giving away my age. And that you kind of have to like it's to like get working properly. But yeah, I remember watching since I was a child and then finally having this kind of like full circle moment now in my adulthood has just been incredible. It's such a privilege and an honor to get to work with such a consummate artist and incredible collaborators and colleagues.
Yeah.
So it's been wild, and I couldn't, you can't make this stuff up. Like it's just
Totally.
it's a really beautiful moment.
What I think is interesting about Sheriff Santiago, Sheriff now, which is awesome,
Yeah,
but I think in the world of the kooky, quirky Adams family, you do have to play the straight, grounded character, right? Like you kind of have to be the straight man in a kooky situation. So,
yeah.
is there ever any kind of like not envy, but are you just like looking from afar, being like, oh, I want to be part of the weird stuff too?
I am. Like, I also want to burn stuff with my hands. That looks really
Yeah.
fun. But also like equally, like I think like all stories, they have their sort of like there's a sum of their parts, right? So it's
Mhm.
important for that balance. I think without the kind of like grounded world, it would like set the balance of the show slightly off kilter. So although I am like looking from the other side, going, why I also want a ball gown.
Totally.
I look great in the corset. Um, but yeah, despite having that, like it's important to balance the story out. And I love Santiago. She's a lot of fun to play. I think there's just a lot of like internal sort of okay, what have they done now energy going on there. It's like, okay, let's go solve this problem again. Yeah.
Totally. What I like about her energy is that she enters, she already has a bias towards like what Wednesday causes around her and the chaos that
Yeah.
happens. But she's really quite understanding, just being like, ah, these kids did this again. I guess I just got to fix this mess. But when things are happening, and especially in this season, there's even the body swap episode, right? It just opens
Yeah.
my mind up to the possibility of what magic could look like in this universe. So that's not to
Yeah.
say Santiago could end up in a corset
You
at a
never
ball. You never know.
know.
You never
You
know.
never know. We live in hope. Fingers
Oh yeah,
crossed.
totally. I do love kind of like what I've seen from interviews and just like general press stuff. I've seen how the younger cast has bonded quite a lot over the years, but I mean, we have people like Steve Buscemi, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Luis Guzman, right? There's so many older veteran actors. You have so much wealth around you. How did
Yeah.
you or was there bonding time with those kind of big name actors that you were able to like observe them, learn from them, or even just become their friend in the process?
I think for a lot of it, yeah, we spent a lot of time sort of hanging out on occasion. I think
Mm.
that happened a lot more during season one. I mean, like during season two, I fell down the stairs, so there was a certain point where like I couldn't go out anymore.
Oh
So
no.
I was just like going to work and then coming home because I was conserving my strength. Because I got quite a bad injury. It was at my apartment rather than on set, but they were great. They took
Mm.
after me looked after me really well. But yeah, like I've made some friends with some lovely castmates. So, we'll have a dinner here or there. Like Ricky Lindholm from season one, we're pretty good friends. Like I think that there is space for that, yes, but also like everyone's so busy,
Yeah,
and like a
totally.
lot of the cast are also on like such busy schedules. And then like Fred is always tends to like be around for like a really short period of time. um, and then and then in particular, really annoyingly this season, I was like man down essentially from
Mm.
about from about a month and a half in, I had like really hurt myself. So I was just going to work and then staying indoors.
Well, you like
That
if it's any consolation, you really can't tell in the season, and I would have never guessed
yeah.
you would. That's
Yeah.
great.
There's a reason for that. I'm hiding it. I'm
Beautiful.
hiding it
Hey,
really
an
well.
actor. We love it.
I'm acting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Um,
yeah, it was yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Santiago has to step up as sheriff in this season. Yeah, just because of the fallout of Tyler's Hyde reveal, right? There's so much
Yeah.
happening to the town, and obviously people's like hair standing up. Like there's a little bit more suspicion around Nevermore. But
Yeah.
because your character is gaining a lot more responsibility in their role, did you feel like you had more responsibility as as an actor to portray that as well with this new set of circumstances?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that there was equal excitement and fear, like terrified. But there was absolutely a responsibility to serve the story and serve the fans and make sure that everything kind of fit inside of Tim Allen Miles's vision as well. So yeah, I felt a great sense of responsibility around that. It was a lot of fun, like co-creating with them and like testing stuff out in terms of what Santiago's tone was like and what the feel
Mm.
was like, and then like settling on what we finally went like, oh, that just feels really right. That was a really exciting process of discovery.
Is there anything different about how like a Tim Burton run or like Tim Burton set or Netflix set for that matter because of the scale of it? Is there anything different about how that operates versus other sets that you've been on as an actor?
I think like you can really feel it. There's this big kind of not necessarily in a negative way, but like this big kind of machine that's
Mm.
operating. And there are so many moving parts across so much of the city, and in some instances internationally when you have to like do pickups out in Romania and stuff. So I think that like it's just the sheer scale of it and the number of artists involved
Yeah.
is so vast. I think that I've had the privilege to work on some wonderful sets, but they've always felt more intimate. This just feels huge, and you can't really miss it. Like even just the size of the lot that we're working on
Mm.
is enormous, and having to like take over that entire space, and walking into the sound stages and just seeing these incredibly realized vivid sets made with such dedication and artistry. It's wild to know that there are nearly 1,000 people actively working on this. It's not just the sort of cast. There's this whole crew and like and people who are actively working to bring this to life for the fans. So yeah, there's absolutely a big difference. You feel it immediately in scale, and it's a beautiful thing to sort of have that many people working together on a shared goal. It's really
Mhm.
exciting.
Totally. I am always in awe of the net, like specifically on Wednesday. The
Mm.
production design just kind of blows me away because I look at the sets and I look at the backgrounds. I'm like, that's not fake. Like, that's like tangible stained glass. That's like tangible buildings, which I think is really lovely because of the world of CGI and AI. I like tangible things,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
but
great.
that said, with like the world gets to be exposed to Wednesday on such a grand scale with a platform like Netflix. And I just want to know, like, how has the fandom received you as a person? Like, when you go out, do you get recognized, or do you go to comic book conventions and people tell you how much they love the show? Is there any of that kind of love that pours into you because of how expansive this show has become?
Yeah, it's been really sweet. Like I never leave my house.
Hey, I like
I'm
that.
I'm such a homebody. I've got everything I need at home. But like it's been really sweet. Like there's been a really great response online. And it's just really heartwarming to get like these really sweet positive messages from people. It's just like, oh, this is having a really positive impact and people can see themselves in me, which is something that's really important to
Mm.
me. And also South Africa, because I'm from South Africa, has just had like this really wonderful massive response to it, and that feels really good to just be representing my home country as well, on an international kind of platform like this. It's something that will always warm my heart when I hear from someone from home just being like, that's really inspiring, that really shows me that like my dreams are possible too. So I feel like that's been really lovely. That's been like my biggest like joyful takeaway from this entire process.
I love that. I love when people can find that validation in unexpected places, you know, and like the bit about South Africa, that must feel so good to represent so many people in a global successful show like this. But um I do want to talk about just your nerdiness. I came across a couple interviews where you talked about loving D&D, and not only that, like you're attached to some incredible IP, not just Adam's Family Wednesday, but Baldur's Gate, Doctor Who, you know what I mean? Warhammer, which is crazy. So
Yeah.
when you are living kind of a nerd's dream and getting to kind of play in these spaces, like I'm curious what that is like to not like fanboy out, fangirl out, you know what I mean? Like you just have to like do the job, but how do you like balance like the nerdy happiness and being a professional?
I think like I tend to be like really excited. I tend to leave that in my like private space, like especially if I get
Mm,
the cost announcement before, I'll like freak out at home and
mm,
then I'll go to work and be professional.
love that.
Because they said like we're all trying to work together. But I will like if it's something that is really, really important to me, I will try and find like a private moment to like, get like a DVD signed
Mm.
or just like something that's like personal to me, like or like a book or something. I will try and get like a little bit of memorabilia if the natural moment arises where it doesn't feel like weird and unprofessional and we aren't all working. I will try to do that. But yeah, I tend to keep it out of the professional space because I know people just want to work. And I'm sure it must not always, because obviously people love their fans, but it can also be kind of like exhausting to not have a space where you're just like can just be yourself and not
Mm.
have that be a part of the equation. So I try and be like, okay, cool, we're all just here. And also at the end of the day, I'm in the room too, so we're colleagues.
Yeah, totally.
Like we're both in this room. So I kind of like take that to heart so that I can also remember that I have every right to be in this space as well.
Absolutely. Do you have a favorite fandom? Like what do you consume most of? Like what does that look like for you?
Gosh, my favorite. Oh no, it's ridiculous. But my favorite fandom is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like I just love.
Oh,
I've loved Buffy my entire life as a child. So that's like really like something that I love a lot. Then Star Trek. I mean Star Wars as well. Alien. I'm loving Alien Earth right
oh
now. It is
yes, so
so
good.
good. It's so good. It is so, so good. I recently started watching Murderbot on
Mm.
Apple TV, and I was shocked that I didn't know about it as like a collection of books. So I started reading books as well. They are incredible. Something that I would love to see adapted into television is the Saga graphic novels because they are so good.
Oh
It's like
yes.
great like space opera, and I'm like, who is gonna try and take that on? Because they
Yeah.
are so good and they deserve to be live action. They're so freaking good.
Oh
Uh,
man.
yeah, I think I'll stop there. Otherwise, we'll be here all night.
Hey, you know what? I like you could take one look at my room. I love talking pop
It's like
culture. I love talking
everything.
nerdy stuff. Yeah. But that's cool that you like have such a what I like about like your social media presence, I'll just say this, it reflects a quote I saw you say about where you want to make a life outside of your craft. But I like
Yeah,
that there's a blend of like there's a crossover of the things that you love and like the things that you do. And like, you know, there is like things that will benefit each other. And maybe when along the road, maybe Buffet the reboot's looking for someone like you know?
exactly.
And you're
You
prepped, you
never
got the
know.
lore.
Never know. I'm ready to go. No, back to front, baby. Every
Yeah.
single season, no problem.
It makes me curious though if there was a hobby that you had that ended up being like a really good tool for a role that you took on.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Really? Oh
I
wow.
think Dungeons and Dragons has really always helped me to tap into any character that I've had since, really, especially in my writing. But even on set when I'm playing with characters, I think that sense of playfulness it really just brings that back into the room because, like you said, like these sets are enormous. Netflix is
Mhm.
so big, right? But and these are like vast, kind of intimidating spaces. But if I can just be like, hey, I'm just at a table rolling dice. It's the exact same thing. We're just here telling a story together. I can allow myself to just come into the space and have a good time and respond to my fellow castmates and work with my director, who's basically my GM, right? Like, I think it's I bring that sense of collaborative storytelling to everything, and I really have been grateful for D&D's impact on my life and my craft.
Amazing. We got to get you on Dropout on like D20 or something like that. Have you seen those shows?
Please, I love Brennan. I mean, we've interviewed him a couple of times when I did a podcast called Three Black Halflings.
Great name. That's a great name.
Yeah, it's a great. The guys are still like doing it, and it's a great podcast. You should check it out. But yeah, like I would love to be on D20. It'd be great.
Yeah, totally.
I did the dungeon run once. That was fun.
I don't want to take too much of your time, but there is some amazing setup for another season here, and there are storylines that I just need answers to, whether that is Enid or Wednesday or just Tyler, right? And so, how far into the future are you privy to like the story? Or is it still like everyone's kind of in the dark at this point?
I don't know a thing. And even if I did, Lawrence, I can't tell you.
I know. They'll come out.
I can't tell you.
Hey, we always gotta try, like. But I appreciate.
It's okay. It's efforts.
Yes, it is. I just try to slip it in there when I could, but like I said, season 2. Season 2 just really like surprised me how much further that you can push like the production of Wednesday. So congratulations to you. I'm so excited. I saw on like your Instagram that you're in something with Alan coming up next, and that's really exciting. I have Nightcrawler on my wall back there. I don't know if you can see,
I love Nightcrawler so much. He's like
so I wish you the best of success moving forward. But thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day.
You too.